see Arizona 411. You're in the middle of the Arizona 411 third set triple play feature. The name of that song, Praying Hands, from their As You Remember Them album that came out all the way back in 2019, which in current times is roughly 3,000 years ago. We've got Dimitri from the band on the phone. Dimitri, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing good. I appreciate you asking us to come and talk on the show.
Thank you so much for taking the call tonight. We were just talking about how 2019 feels like it is roughly 30,000 years ago at this point. But it sounds to us like you've been making great use of the time. We definitely know that you guys have been doing some experimental stuff lately. Just wanted to start off by confessing our absolute love for Night Drives Volume 1. Hope and I have literally based dates around town where we drive, we listen to the album, we stop, we eat food, and then we continue driving and we listen to the album. So on the record itself, it says that you guys use real jungle sounds. What jungle did these sounds come from, and what was the inspiration for the album in the first place?
The recordings of the jungle we did not capture ourselves, but I know they're from a Brazilian jungle. It's from a recording that we found with Jim Waters, who recorded the record with us. He recorded it. We played in his studio, Waterworks, and we found a compilation of the sounds and calls of Brazilian birds, tropical birds. So I do know where, kind of roughly what jungle it is, but that was the birds we used. And the idea for the birds was kind of a play on like Arthur Lyman and Martin Denny, kind of exotica stuff that had this, birds and frog calls and stuff. In the background, we've been doing more and more over the years. We've been playing kind of dinner shows as well, besides just doing like a rock show or something. And so we'll play for two to 3 hours and kind of just be a background kind of band while people eat and drink, or we'll do stuff at the Children's Museum or at the Botanical Gardens or MoCA or something for events. And in the process of doing that gig over the years, we ended up kind of writing. It was kind of all improv at first, but songs started to come out of it. And we started to know them, and then we picked some of the ones we really liked and went and recorded them live at Jim's studio. Well, and that's what Night Drives 1 is three of those songs.
It's extremely inspired, and now that you've told the backstory behind it, it makes complete sense. We've had a hard time finding any environment that it doesn't make absolutely great background music, as well as, like I said, just easy listening or just even contemplative listening. So very good stuff there.
No, thank you. I'm glad that the goal was to make it kind of a nice thing to put on while you're eating or driving or walking, or it's just something that kind of in the background to kind of keep a chill mood, So I'm glad that's working.
Absolutely. Now, you guys worked on your As You Remember Them album, and then you came out with Cowboy Kiosk, about April of last year. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You guys were geared up to go play some shows, weren't you, out in Austin originally?
When we were doing Cowboy Kiosk, was recorded for, it was a kind of a dual purpose EP. Its initial intention was to be the merchandise for a tour we were going to be going to France and Germany that got canceled due to the pandemic and stuff. And it was also what we recorded it was just me and Ryan going over there. And we have friends in France and Germany that will be the band when we were going to get there. So we recorded that EP to kind of show them the tunes as well, so they could learn them which they did, but now we won't play them, you know. But
yes, you will. It will happen.
Yeah. We certainly will. Just maybe not in the way we intended. But yeah.
That's what it was. I got my stories mixed up, but I did recall you guys were getting ready to do like a big tour, big in terms of like something international and things like that. And then I just remember, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this. And
yeah, luckily we hadn't put any of, we had the order in, but we hadn't paid anything to the that would have been the biggest expense really, or loss. We didn't really make the vinyl for it, which we would have loved to have done, but luckily we didn't. It didn't get to that point. We had enough of a heads up because of our friends. Things kind of shut down over there first, and our friends in Germany and in France that we were going to be playing with were kind of telling us, like, before it was kind of seemed as official over here, they were like, this is just not happening. There's not going to be any tours. There's not going to be any shows. So we were able to kind of cut our losses. Yeah,
and not wind up stuck over in Europe. So that in itself is a good sign. So very nice. Well, we've discussed Halt. We've discussed, as you remember them, a little bit of Cowboy Kiosk. Now you've got Night Drives Volume 2. Tell us a little bit about the difference between Night Drives Volume 2 and Night Drives Volume 1, because Hope and I have been listening to both. We've picked up both, and there is a distinct difference. So what was the idea behind Night Drives Volume 2?
Night Drives Volume 2 is kind of a more similarly, there's songs that we've been playing at events and dinner shows and stuff like that, but they're kind of fleshed out a lot more into more of it's a much fuller record, shorter songs, and stuff like that. And we've been meaning to, we wanted to do more sessions for the Night Drives Volume 1, but the songs are just so long and stuff, and we just kind of got put on the back burner. But when it came time, when we were in kind of shutdown, and to be clear, to me and Ryan are next door neighbors, and we work together and stuff. So we are kind of our pod and have been that way for the entire pandemic. So we've been able to continue to work and stuff like that, and we record ourselves. And so we're kind of a self-contained unit. And our analog tape machine, our reel-to-reel, had been broken for a little while. It got fixed right before everything fell apart, and it's operating differently than we were used to. And so we used, and we were working on a record, like a full-on LP that we were planning on doing, but we were afraid to mess around with the machine because we weren't getting the signals back we were used to.
Yes.
So we started recording Night Drives. Volume 2 was also was a way for us to get familiar with the way the machine now operated.
Well,
and to get familiar with us building a studio, knowing that we weren't going to be seeing any other musicians, and we were going to have to just do everything ourselves. So we built a small isolation booth that kind of looks not like an isolation booth, but it works. And we got familiar with, our mics and fixed our gear and figured out what we could do to record ourselves.
Awesome, Dimitri. Well, it seems like from talking to you that you guys are staying safe and you're staying busy. We appreciate you taking the call from us tonight, and we would love to stay in contact with you guys and continue supporting everything that you've got going on down the road. And we will continue chanting, "Make it to Europe, Golden Boots. Make it to Europe, Golden Boots." Let's go ahead and wrap up this third set triple play right now.
Well, thank you. And also, me and Ryan both really appreciate your focus on local music, and we think it's really important, and it's awesome that you're doing that. So thank you.
Hey, thank you so much. You guys keep making the most amazing stuff, and we would love to continue sharing it with our listeners. So thank you so much, Dimitri.
Well, thank you.
Golden Boots with Party USA 666 from their Cowboy Kiosk EP right here on the Arizona 411 third set triple play feature.